I'm Rob Cantrell. Our family has been building stone mill log homes for over a quarter of a century now. In that time, we've learned some very important things that can help assure that your family is completely satisfied with their log home. I'd like to share a few of those things with you now. There are 3 things to do before you purchase a parcel of land. Get a land survey if the present owner doesn't have one. Check the zoning requirements and make sure the utilities are available. If you want to purchase a parcel immediately, make sure the contract is contingent on getting the right answers in these 3 important areas.
In some places, you need to have a survey or plot plan to get a building permit. But even if it's not required in your area, it's a good idea to have your property surveyed by a licensed surveyor. Your survey should show the property lines and utility easements and floodplain. Most localities require building permits to make sure that new construction meets zoning laws or restrictive covenants. Do not take anyone's word on zoning a parcel of land. Deal directly with your local zoning board or planning commission to be sure you get correct information. Check to make sure your proposed home meets size requirements and that your proposed siting on your lot meets setback regulations. Check with local utility companies to make sure that services are available to your site. Ask about possible entrances for gas, electric, water, telephone, cable TV, and sewer lines. And find out who pays to bring lines to the house. If city water or sewer service are not available, be sure you know the regulations for wells and septic systems. Also check to see if there are any covenants that regulate above-ground electric, telephone, or cable TV lines, and if there are any obstacles or problems that would increase the cost of hooking up.
After you've bought your lot, there are several important things you should do before beginning construction. You should get insurance, pick a builder, and obtain a building permit. In some cases, other permits may be needed.
You need insurance to protect your investment and cover you from potential liabilities during construction. You need to have coverage in case your home is damaged or destroyed while it's being built. And you need liability coverage if you're doing any contracting yourself, or if anyone other than your builder's employees will be on the site during construction. You should also check your builder's coverage before construction begins. Selecting the right contractor is as important as choosing the right log home. You should ask around. Friends, relatives, and even your loan officer are good sources. When you've narrowed the selection down, check with the Better Business Bureau to see if any negative reports have been filed about any of your candidates. And call the local Home Builders Association to learn how long they've been in business. Ask the builders you're considering for references and check them. When you've decided on your builder, ask to see a current certificate of insurance to be sure he or she is covered for workers' compensation and general liability. Finally, work with a contract spelling out exactly what you expect the builder to do and how much and when you will pay. To get a building permit, you'll need to assure that your planned home complies with local building codes, which vary from county to county. You'll also need a detailed building plan, which includes a site plan, a deed or other proof of ownership, a detailed floor plan, and exterior elevations of all sides of the building. If any variance to a specific code or ordinance is needed, or a special permit is required, the approval must be attached to the specifications or the codes office will not approve the permit. If your lot ends at a county road, you'll need an access permit from the highway department. If you plan to build on a floodplain, special permits are required. And you'll have to get a permit if you plan to have on-site sewage treatment. As you go through the often complicated process of getting all these permits, be patient, because the entire process is intended to protect you and to maintain the value of your new home.
After you have all your permits, there are 2 important first steps before construction actually begins: site planning and site preparation.
Access to the construction site is an important consideration. The logs for your home will be delivered by a big rig semi, which can be as much as 80 feet long and weigh up to 40 tons. The truck is hard to maneuver around sharp corners, and it can get stuck on muddy or newly built gravel roads. Drivers won't take their trucks where they'll get stuck. It's important that you prepare the site to allow the rig to drive right up to where you'll be building, so you won't have extra expenses to transport materials from the truck to the job site. Another important consideration is placement of the home on your property. A sunny location is ideal for passive solar heat, but logs age faster in direct sun, so sealer has to be applied more often. You should also consider the view you want from each room in your new home. Generally, the best view should be from the room in which you'll spend the most time. Your site will have to be prepared for construction. You'll need a source of electricity for the power tools used in construction. Once you have a building permit, your power company can hook up a temporary box. You should have at least 20 amps of electricity with a 50 amp main. The next step depends on whether the logs for your home will be stacked in place by crane or forklift. If the builder is going to use a crane, you should backfill around the foundation to provide the flat, solid base needed to spread out the crane's legs. If a forklift is going to be used, it's important to clear all debris from around the foundation to provide a clear area for it to operate.
We hope these tips will make building your log home easier and more satisfying. Of course, this isn't a complete list. There are many more we'd like to share with you as we move from planning through construction of your home. We want to assure that you and your family get the most out of the wonderful experience of living in a stone mill log home, just like the hundreds of families for whom our family have built stone mill log homes, and just as our family does.
With Stone Mill, your dream home will be exactly as you always dreamed it would be. Warm, welcoming, a sanctuary from the world, a special home place for generations of your family, a return to the simple life.
Stone Mill is a family-owned business which I started in 1974. My son Matthew, my son-in-law Rob are very instrumental in the day-to-day operations of this business, as was my daughter Beth before she had little Robert.
Stone Mill Log Homes, a labor of love that stands the test of time.
We hope we'll have the privilege of building one for you and your family.
Live in a labor of love that stands the test of time. A Stone Mill Log Home.